Hello, my most amazing artists. So we today are going to be making, as you might have guessed from the read along, which was super cute, grumpy monkeys. I can't wait to see your monkeys. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking to you. I want you to get right to drawing because it's such a fun lesson. Some things to think about. You're going to be doing watercolor resist. You're going to be using texture today. You're going to be using design, pattern, space. All are elements of art for your awesome, grumpy, maybe not grumpy, maybe happy monkeys. We'll see. I'm going to give you a handout as well that I will kind of embed in the video so you can pause it and you can choose what kind of face you want your monkey to have. So you don't have to make a grumpy monkey. You can see I did not make a grumpy monkey. Not this time. Okay? So let's go draw. Hello, my most amazing artists. I hope you enjoyed that very cute read aloud of Grumpy Monkey. So I'm sure you've already guessed that we are going to be making monkeys together today. So we're going to start in the middle of our page. Oh, and you're going to need paper, you're going to need oil pastels or crayons, and optional watercolors. We're going to do a watercolor resist, and that is where we use the oil pastels or the crayons to resist the watercolor. So let's get drawing those grumpy monkeys. The first thing we're going to do is in the middle of our page, we're going to make a nice big oval shape. I'm going to draw mine in oil pastel. If you want to start in crayon and then move to outline with crayon or oil pastel, you may do so. I'm sorry, you may start with pencil. All right, so I got my nice big oval for my monkey face. Now we're going to make that interesting little shape that goes inside the middle of the monkey. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in the middle of our oval, leave a little space, and make a curved line up and around and do the same thing, kind of like a stretched out letter M. Then you're going to make a curved line down here, and we're going to connect them. Okay, so you've got that nice little monkey outline. We're not going to draw our face just yet. We're going to come back to the face because I'm going to give you options on what kind of emotion or face you want your grumpy monkey or happy monkey or silly monkey to have. On the side of my oval, I'm going to make a nice big letter C and a backwards letter C on this side. These are our grumpy monkey's ears. Then I'm going to make a swirl starting on the outside and working my way in for the inner part of the ear. Okay, we're ready for our body. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a nice big U shape, but leave room at the bottom for my monkey's legs. So make a nice big U shape for my monkey's body. And now we are ready for some legs. We're going to do the arms not down here. The monkey's going to be hanging. So what we're going to do is first do our legs. So on this side of my body, I'm going to make a straight line down and bend like a backwards letter L. Same thing on this side. Okay? Then you're going to copy that shape. And then we're going to make our grumpy monkey's feet. So we're just going to make a curved line and copy the curved line like he's got those little feet that are hanging on like that. Okay, now we're going to come up to the top of our paper and I'm going to leave about 1.5 inches, make a wavy line, not too wavy, gently wavy line across the top. That's going to be the branch that our monkey is hanging from. Don't draw the other part yet, okay? Oh, actually, let's do 2 lines for the branch. Now come up to the top of the head and you're going to draw, 2 lines up for arms. And on this side, same thing, 2 lines up for arms. And to make it look like he's holding that branch, we're just going to make some bumpy lines like fingers. Monkey fingers. All right, there we go. Isn't he adorable? You know, I'm thinking about this. I probably could have started with a brown oil pastel. Otherwise, he's going to look kind of like a black monkey, but that's okay. I'll add some fur as well. Now, here's the really fun part. We're going to make the face for our grumpy monkey. So I'm going to show you this handout right now, but in the video, I will also embed it so you can pause and take a look at it and decide on what kind of face you want to make. So here's an example that I have of all these different funny faces. So we have him kind of being goofy, he looks worried, he's like being kind of silly. All kinds of, he looks kind of scared in that one, right? And he's super grumpy in this one, and this one he's like, everybody leave me alone. So you choose what kind of face you're going to make on your monkey. I think I'm going to make my monkey face like this one right here. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at the picture, and the way they made it was this arch here, eyes, pupils, eyebrows, nostrils, and a silly little grin. So adorable. Okay, friends, so the next step is going to be to give our grumpy monkey texture. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to make some lines all over our monkey's body. And I'm going to come back in as well with another brown oil pastel later. I'm going to give him all kinds of little lines. He was a little hairy monkey. Cute. Okay, so now we need to add some background items that we are going to paint over. So what we are going to do is we are going to draw a whole bunch of different kinds of leaves. So I'm finding a yellow oil pastel, a green oil pastel, let's see, and I don't know where all my oil pastels went. So Mrs. Arsley is going to be flexible, and I'm going to actually also add in some different crayon colors. So I'm going to add in some greens and maybe even some browns. Because remember, we're going to watercolor as well. So we're going to make some leaves in the background. So what we're going to do to make our leaves is we're going to just make a curved line and then another curved line to connect it. And we're going to give our leaf some veins. That's what feeds our leaves. And I'm going to make a whole bunch of them in my background. And I'm going to use different colors and different sizes to give my artwork variety. I'm going to make some yellow leaves. I like the contrast of the different colors. So you can choose what colors you do. And I'm not coloring my leaves in because we're going to watercolor paint. Notice that this one went behind my monkey's knee. So I am going to skip and jump over that knee like we did with our other artwork. Here, let me make one up here. We don't want to leave this area too blank. Make sure we're having a variety all around our page. How about a couple of dark green leaves? Maybe this one overlaps. He is in the jungle. And maybe do one up here. I think I'll have that one go off the page. You notice that Mrs. Arsley, I am just making different decisions as I go to make it more interesting. Kind of just working my way around and thinking about what I might want to do and where I need some more items. Looking at my page to see where, like there's not any green down here. So I think I'm going to make a green leaf that comes off the page over here. Maybe one over here. All right, my page is getting nice and filled up. I'm going to use some brown crayon. I wish I had an oil pastel, but I didn't plan well, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of brown to our branch so that will pop out through my oil pastel. And I'm going to add some brown lines on my monkey. And again, those will give our artwork texture. That feeling like our monkey has fur and we would want to maybe pet him. Maybe, if he wasn't feeling too grumpy. I think he's looking pretty good. And remember, I'm not coloring him all the way in because we're going to watercolor paint. All right, there is my super cute, adorable, grumpy monkey. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get my watercolors and I'm going to watercolor paint. And I will probably speed that process up so you don't have to watch me paint. And then we will check back in at the very end just to say goodbye. My most amazing artists, I am back. I've got my watercolors ready to go. I have my water and my paintbrush, and I'm going to start painting my monkey. I'm going to start with my monkey first, and I'm going to do the face part of my monkey a little bit lighter than the rest of my monkey, and I'm going to do that first. And then I will paint around my monkey to get my background. So I'm going to choose to do my monkey's face a little bit of yellow. And remember, we need to wake up our paints by swishing gently. Remember swiping that extra water off your brush. So you're always controlling how much water and how much paint you have when you're painting. So we're going to go ahead and paint his little face. Now, if you do not have watercolors, you can do this whole thing in crayon, in marker, in colored pencils. It does not have to be a watercolor, but I thought that this was a nice combination. Okay, his face for me is a little too yellow, so what I'm going to do, cleaning my brush, swiping off the extra water, is I'm going to grab a little bit of orange, and I'm going to add a little bit of orange in to my face. And notice I'm not actually going to even get any extra. I'm just using that one little swipe that I took the first time, just to darken that yellow a little bit and make it look more realistic. Oh, he's looking so cute already. Okay, so now I'm going to choose to paint my monkey brown. Now, if you're painting your monkey brown, you have a choice. You can use the brown that is in your watercolors, or you can mix colors to make brown. Now, we talked once before about how colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel will make brown. So when I look at my color wheel, which you can't see, but trust me, I see that red and green are opposite, and I see that purple and yellow are opposite, and I see that orange and blue are opposites on the color wheel. So you could mix those on your paper to get brown. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of brown, and in a few places I might use a little bit of red, just to give me a little bit of contrast and a little interesting, really making my monkey look a little more realistic. So I'm going to swipe into my brown, and I'm working from the inside of my monkey out because I don't want my oil pastel to smudge, and if my hand is moving all over my page, I might accidentally smudge. If I want my monkey to be lighter in color, I use less paint and more water. If I want my brown to be darker, I use more paint. And very important, friends, also that if you have a thin piece of paper that you're working on today, that you are careful not to go over one spot for too long or to use too much water, because if you do, you may accidentally tear your paper. So all those things, keeping them in mind. You did such a wonderful job with your tigers. I am not concerned at all that you will have any trouble. All right, my friends, after I finish painting my monkey, I'm going to paint my background with some greens and yellows and blues, and I'm going to speed this whole thing up so you can see that. All right, my friends, my monkey is all done. I think he is adorable. I think this might be one of my favorite projects we've done so far. I can't wait to see what your grumpy monkeys look like. And remember, if you don't have watercolors, you can do this exact same thing using crayons, colored pencils or markers. Until next time, my friends, have so much fun.